It's the National Football League on EA Sports.
And there's no love lost between these AFC South foes. It's the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 25.
Where the Gator Bowl once stood, now stands this facility. Everbank Field as EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Jacksonville, Florida. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we've got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over him for big yardage, and maybe 6 points too.
Cam Little out for the opening kick. And we're underway from Everbank Stadium. Set to return, this is Braxton Berrios. This return makes it up to the 25. Well, here come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading them out is the second overall pick back in the 2023 draft from the Ohio State. It's C.J. Stroud.
It didn't take long for C.J. Stroud to make an immediate impact into the NFL, and it didn't take long for me, Kate, to form an opinion, but this guy's just different. He just processes the game quicker. Remember talking to Ryan Day on the practice field in Columbus, watching him in college, and he just alluded to that as well. It's the anticipation. It is knowing where everybody is and getting that ball out before any receiver will even break on a route. C.J. was unique in that way, and that skill set has been a big part of his success.
Gets this one into the hands of Christian Kirk. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Running for the first time with Joe Mixon. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And it sets up a Houston first.
Hey, look, any run of this size is going to wound a defense. But you get this game going right at the heart of their defense, you start to break their will and break their pride.
Stroud throwing here on first. Flushed out of the pocket. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
And right there's the danger, Kate, when you put the ball in the air. How many times do we see these coordinators, when you get a nice run, right, you gain some steam on the ground, you stick with the ground game. They don't, they call the pass, and the defense reacts, and reacts well with a sack.
Offense to the line for second down. Staying between the tackles with Mixon. And he finds space for about a 3-yard gain. Stopped by Foye Oluokun.
Kate, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Jaguars, well, they must be thinking pass here, huh? They're in the dime. Third down coming up. This is complete to Schultz. And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
Fourth down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. And this will fly out of bounds to deny a return. They're going to mark it a little before the 20. So here are the Jaguars taking over for the first time on offense. And bringing them out, a former #1 overall pick out of Clemson in 2021, Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence has had a remarkable career. Over 50 starts in high school and a winner all the way along. A national champion and 3-year starter at Clemson, and really a starter from day one after the first pick in the draft in Jacksonville. The key for Trevor at this level, though, is to do it season in and season out. That's what the greats before him have done. The Bradys, the Mannings, the #1 picks of the past. If you want to become a great and you want to take your game to another level, you got to do it year in and year out.
Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9. Give up the gut to Bigsby. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. A gain of about 3, so a third of what they needed. 3rd and 6 coming up.
When you don't have great success on first down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation.
He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
On 4th down, it's Logan Cook on for the Jaguars to punt it away. He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. And a fair catch made without incident, just inside the 25. We don't get a return out of that punt. And it's going to be Texans football. They're out and set, 1st and 10. On play action, here's Stroud. Oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie out of Colorado. And the Jaguars will take over with the football just outside the 30. He got in front of that one for the pick. Looked like that's the receiver it was designed to go to on that play, too.
Yeah, the QB just must have missed the lurky defender in coverage right there. That's where, as a QB, you've got to have the vision to not just see your route, but see those defenders in front of them. If you stare down your receivers in this league, turnovers follow.
2nd drive coming up for the Jacksonville offense. They didn't start the game off like they wanted, Brock. Still searching for that opening 1st down as they take the field a 2nd time. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Lawrence now off the play action. Throw reeled in by Thomas. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. C.J. Gardner-Johnson there on the tackle.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And with 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
On 2nd down, it's Etienne. Still has room inside the 15. And he's finally taken down at the 3. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Those outside runs so critical for running back, quarterback, O-line to hit their targets. They got a target area to expose that defense and make the most of it, and that offense just put on display some teaching tape for it.
From the red zone now. Looking end zone, but touchdown denied, knocked away, incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6, and that makes it 2nd and goal.
Boy, take a look at that. Look at him locking down his area of the end zone. They can bring it in close enough to take shots, but there are no easy touchdowns.
He's got it on the bootleg. And that's incomplete, but I do see some laundry on the field. Let's see what this flag is all about. He was too far downfield at the time of the pass. Gotta stay within a yard of the line. That'll back him up. Backed up just a bit. Here's another 2nd and goal. Running it after the penalty. And he drives forward for a little, maybe to the 7. Just a couple on that play. It's going to be 3rd and goal.
Well, you get a little bit closer, but you can feel the pressure starting to mount. Unless you're committed to playing 4 downs here, this becomes a critical 3rd down call.
Lawrence on 3rd and goal. Flush down out to his left.
Well, that's an excellent job by the defense. All eyes on the quarterback. When you're playing a quarterback that can escape, well, even though you cover, you still got to cover down and go chase that QB out of bounds before he could get the 1st down.
Cam Little getting the call on 4th down here to put 3 up for the Jaguars. This is a chip shot from the left hash. The kick by Shudak is good. And that will get them on the board.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. But that's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. Barrios now to return it. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Houston offense out and ready to set up shop. And this drive, Brock, hopefully longer than that last one. They were only out there 1 play before they were picked off.
They're kind of a good chance right now to see how risk-averse these guys are offensively. A lot of game left. They could give the passing game a little breather and start this one on the ground.
And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. Schultz with the catch. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. They get 13 on the pickup. And the Texans are going to have a 1st down.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Darrell Jackson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
Can't cover it much better than that really well-covered kid on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. To the air yet again, it's Stroud. Coverage holds up, and he just had to get rid of it.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or 2, and 3rd downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hands, their coach wants to see them convert those.
So it'll be Tommy Townsend once again to punt this away. And he'll try to have his 2nd punt top his 1st one. And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. Officially a 55-yard launch. And it'll be Jaguars football. Jacksonville heading out there on offense. They've got an early 3-0 lead as they take over here. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Here's ETN to begin the drive. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, He's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. One quarter down in this all AFC South contest. Just a field goal separates these two. Back to Everbank Stadium in just a bit. Back for the second quarter. It's Jaguar football. They have second and pretty long here. From the shotgun, Lawrence. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. So they're left facing third and long.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
Third and long for him here. Dialing up a receiver screen. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
I'll tell you, that is a humbling moment to see a completed third down pass actually go backwards instead of towards the sticks.
They'll send Logan Cook out again for the punt. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. His first effort went 47 yards. Brock looks to have a little more into this one. That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And it's going to be their football coming up. Houston's offense back out now and ready to go. Well, their last drive, not the one they want to replicate after they were forced to punt it away. The Texans set up nicely as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. They'll begin with a run by Mixon. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Looking to throw, Stroud. Into the hands of Schultz. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. That play good for 17 and a first down.
They've run this 12-yard out route, Kate, at the combine, well, all the way back to last century when I had to throw it. In this throw, this is a big boy throw. This is a differentiator. Can you make that deep out throw on time, on rhythm, and accurately? Well, that was teaching tape right there.
Buys time, rolling right. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
That right there is one of the biggest differences between the NFL and college game. Heck, the high school and Pop Warner game. Because when you break away from a sack at those lower levels, big things happen. But at this level, this big boy league, just because you get out of one guy's arms doesn't mean you're safe anytime soon.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Trying again following the sack. Bails out of the pocket quick. He's stepping up and takes off with this one. Now looks like we're going to get a stoppage for an injured Jaguar. He's in some pain as the trainers head out to examine him. Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. A give to Mixon up the middle. And he stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
They'll come up 1st and 10. Keeping it with Mixon. And he'll bowl his way ahead for a 4-yard pickup.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the gun, Stroud. Finds him over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. They're going to run here. It's Mixon. Finds the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. The Texans take a 2nd quarter lead. It's a Joe Mixon touchdown. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out, and that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that could score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
Here's Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Texans take a 4-point lead. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Here's Parker Washington with the return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Jacksonville offense back on the field now. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Lawrence. He throws a bullet deep to the... He's got it deep downfield. And he flips the field for them before being taken down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
1st and 10 after that last highlights. They're at the 30. From the gun, ETN gets it. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Kate, I'll never forget walking into the Hall of Famer Dwight Freeney's meeting room with those defensive linemen. The late, great John Tierlink, his coach, he had a little sign up in his office, and it was sacks, and that money sign was the S, because ends and D linemen make their money with sacks. But you win games when they stop the run like that for a tackle for loss.
It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. Azeez Al-Shire that time on the tackle.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Lawrence working from the gun. That's taken in by ETN. And a nice gain here, but it's stopped short of the 1st.
All you can do is shake your head sometimes. Sure, the pass play works, but they come up just an inch or two short for the 1st down.
Only need the length of the football. It's 4th and inches. They're going to try with Etienne. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line. That was the biggest 3-yard gain you're going to see because instead of a turnover on downs, Brock, it gets them a first.
Come on now. Was there any doubt who they were going to go to right there? That was always going to be a run play. No problem converting on fourth.
We're at the 2-minute warning now from Everbank. And it's the Jaguars with 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Etienne on the catch. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Receiver in motion, headed right. Here's Lawrence to throw. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And it brings up 3rd down. Lawrence to throw it. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll be taken down at the last possible moment. He's at the 1. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Going jumbo set on this 1st and goal. Sticking in the air with Lawrence. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. So, Brock, good work there to finish off the drive in the end zone and retake the lead.
You just get this feeling every once in a while in games, this sucker's going to be a back-and-forth football game. So what a great job offensively to jump out in front here in the first half of play.
Cam Little to try the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Jaguars push their lead to 3. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. Barrios now to return it. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Texans and running back Joe Mixon headed out for their next series. And normally they'd need this out, Brock, but facing such a small deficit, good chance they try to get a field goal here before the break. Just over 30 seconds left in the half as they come to the line. First down, Stroud. It's another first half mistake. He's intercepted again. And the Jaguars get it back after making their 3rd first half interception.
Well, that's now his 2nd time that he's put his defense in a tough spot. That's a hard thing about playing quarterback, Kate. You know, with these interceptions and now the 2nd on the day, you're asking your defense again to step up to another series, another possession, another challenge. This quarterback's got to start protecting the football.
Now the Jaguars offense ready to take over once more. They have time to look to the end zone first here before they send the field goal unit out. Ball at the 33 for first down. Throwing from the gun here. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. And that'll bring up second down. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
Woo, very fortunate that didn't go as a turnover. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long.
I think I could see his eyes from the booth. He was envisioning the return and simply dropped it. You got to secure the pick before anything else.
Throwing is Lawrence on 3rd down. And this one falls incomplete. Still 17 seconds left to play. Looking for his wide receiver there. And now they're staring at 4th and long.
You know, the goal on a lot of these short throws is to simply let the receiver create some yards after the catch, that yak. Well, I think he was thinking about the yak before he actually secured the catch.
And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that'll double their lead to 6.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. Last drive of the half isn't going to be long. 14 seconds remaining. All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. Just before halftime, we get a timeout. Take it. First and 10 from the 41. He's back to throw. That's complete. Here's Kirk. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. Just before halftime, we get a timeout. Take it. So here comes the kick team for what will be a very long attempt. It's a deep shot for him from that left hash. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. So we're halfway through this contest from Jacksonville. The hometown Jaguars out in front. Now we'll keep it in-state, but send you a couple hours away to our buddy in Orlando. It's Jonathan Coachman. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Kate, thanks very much. And with that, we welcome you all into our EA Sports studios. This is the Halftime Report. One of the top performers in that first half was the running back, Travis Etienne. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome you all back for the start of our third quarter. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Here's a return from the 7. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. Here come the Jaguars, taking the field on offense to start the third. And they'll have a little momentum as they take the field here after their kicker drilled a deep one to end their last drive with points. They've got first down from the 31. Out of the gun, a give to ETN. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
That's the kind of run play that feels like tug-of-war at field day. And you're just not moving the other side. Just a short run. Neither side feels particularly good about it, and we'll move to the next.
Second down now, 7 to go. They go right back to ETN. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, they were hoping to get outside and meet those guys at the second level. Well, someone from the second level came to beat him on his turf. And that meeting didn't go so well.
A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. Now Lawrence escapes the pocket. They'll make a bid for it on the ground. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got first down.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. Lawrence looking to throw. He gets this one to Strange. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
Inside handoff goes to ETN. And that's good for a gain of 5. Azeez Al-Shire that time on the tackle. Give him 5 yards to bring up a manageable 3rd and 1.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
Play clock down to 0, and the flags come out. Must have lost sight of the play clock there, Brock, because the quarterback could have snapped it in time, but instead, they take the penalty. The penalty makes this a 3rd and 6. Lawrence throwing here. He's on the move. Oh, he's going to run for it. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a first down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
First down throw, Lawrence. Has him on the quick hitter. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. It's a pickup of 11. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
On 1st and 10, here's Lawrence. Brought in close to the 8. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. They'll run, ETN. And he won't challenge for the goal line. The stop made at the 4. He gets him 3. This brings up 2nd and goal.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, You still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
Still chances to get these final 4 yards. It's 2nd and goal. ETN. And he gets in. Touchdown. The Jaguars grow the lead coming out of halftime. Travis Etienne, the touchdown. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with 1 end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get 1, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
On is Little for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Jaguars make it a 10-point ball game. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. Dameon Pierce now to return it. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Texans and C.J. Stroud all set to go for their next drive. And as we can see here, it hasn't been the easiest game for him to operate out there, right? Number of rough moments for him. This defense able to pick him off twice to highlight their performance against him. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Stroud. This is complete to Schultz. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
Options are open here. It's 2nd and inches. Now there's the flag. Looks like the jump came from the left side of the line. So tough to stay set when you've got defenders doing everything they can to make you jump, and well, they got one of them to move that time. They'll run here following the penalty. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
What was supposed to move the chains, or at least make 3rd down easier to handle instead? Well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. Now makes this 3rd down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
They come to the line here. This is 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. Short pass brought in. And he's out of bounds after pushing just past the 40. They get an even 10 on that play. And it sets up a Houston 1st.
Kate, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns, he puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Stroud from the pistol. Hits him on the out route. And he takes it across midfield and into Jaguars territory. Following that completion, remember the O-line looks to be in some pain. They're headed out to take a look at him now. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. That's completed out to the right. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. Pickup of 12 on that play. And the Texans are going to have a 1st down.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Here's Stroud on 1st and 10. completed to Collins. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. Give him 13 on that play. And it sets up a Houston first.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. Stroud off the play fake. On target to his back, Joe Mixon. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
Might be trying to power this across, Brock. They've got 3 tight ends out there. It's 1st and goal. Just 1 quarter remaining in this one. The Texans have it to start, coming in trailing on the scoreboard. Four downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. On play action, here's Stroud. He has the catch, but no, he can't get down in bounds. Oh, Brock, it was nearly a touchdown, but they're going to say it's incomplete.
Gosh, I love how the receiver creates space from the defender, and even more so the concentration to make the catch. What he didn't have was enough real estate to get his feet in and make an exciting completion.
To the air yet again, it's Stroud. And he's got it for the touchdown, but while they celebrate, oh, back near the line, we've got a flag, Brock. In the neighborhood, we usually see holding. Fighting all he could to keep his quarterback upright, but crossed the line there. That earns the holding penalty. So the holding backs him up. They'll try to get that back and then some on 2nd and goal. From the gun, Stroud. Schultz with the catch. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line.
Sometimes you're looking to push the ball down the field. But as I've said before, the crumbs lead to a cookie. And you never go broke taking a profit, and those big tight ends will often find you those easy check down yards.
So now, here's 3rd and goal. To the air, Stroud. And he will score. Touchdown, Houston. The Texans make it a 4-point game here in the 4th. Well, we all know that he's somebody they like to have working down near the end zone, Brock, and there is so many ways they know how to use him down there.
Yeah, things are constantly different down there when you're trying to defend him, which is what makes defending him so tough, borderline impossible at times. He can make the smallest little tweaks to his route just like a receiver would, and it's a totally different animal, a nightmare for these defenses.
They can tack on one more now, bring things back to within a field goal. And he connects there, so now another kick from him. A field goal would tie this game in the 4th. Volley set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Kickoff taken at the 3. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Out now runs the Jaguars offense. And after that touchdown, cut their lead back to 1 score, Brock. A response in order as they take over. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Lawrence. Makes the grab in bounds, left side. Gets it to the 15. Touchdown, Jacksonville. The Jaguars make it a 9-point advantage. Brian Thomas Jr., the touchdown. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just got to ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
On is Little for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Jaguars make it a 10-point ball game. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. Barrios now to return it. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Out now come the Texans on offense. They really have the passing game clicking on that last touchdown drive, partner. We'll see if they stick with that or if they mix things up a bit on this series. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Running left is Mixon. Stiff arm success. It's a gain of 12 there. And the Texans are going to have a 1st down.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run. But I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
I think that was a throw, Kate, that just came a little bit too late. What it did is it gave that defense time to come up and deliver a pop and knock the ball loose before he could secure it fully.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Now it's Stroud. Completed over the middle. Decent gain here, but short of the 1st.
Kate, one thing I learned from the late, great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes just like that.
3rd down, Mixon gets it. They cross the 40 on a nice run. And he has this all the way down to the 29-yard line. They strike for 23 yards. And it sets up a Houston 1st.
This dude was just not going to be stopped. Not by the 1st defender. Heck, not even by the 2nd one who was able to bring him down. No, it took a few shots before this crew could finally get this beast down.
And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. On the ground again with Mixon. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you're going to be a Pro Bowler.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Stroud. Caught by Collins on the slant. And he'll go down here at the 16. That play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps this drive moving.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
All right, all set up now. 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, a give to Mixon. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Here's Stroud. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested captures, and he couldn't.
And he got what he could there, only to the 14. Just 1 yard on the run. That's going to bring up 4th and 8. Now it's Kaimi Fairbairn on to try it for the Texans. This is going to be a 31-yarder from the right hash. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And it pulls them back within 1 score here in the 4th.
This is a case of, well, just get what you can on the way out the door, Kate. It's already out of reach. Just take the 3, let your kicker get some points, and make it a hair closer in the box score.
And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Washington now to return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Now the Jaguars getting set to go. Well, Brock, it only took them 1 play to reach the end zone last drive. They might have to work a little bit harder this time out. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence. He's got Brown on the slant. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. They get 13 on the pickup. And that's a Jaguar 1st down.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Trying it right side with ETN. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great block in the spring of guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
First down, and they go right back to him. And the middle holds. They don't get anything on the run. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
It's the 2-minute warning here in Jacksonville. Jaguars feeling lucky with a 7-point lead. 2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. ETN again. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Now just 4 seconds after our 2-minute warning, we've got another pause. Timeout taken by the defense. Third and 6 for them to figure out now. They'll give this up the middle to ETN. And he's able to take this one down to the 25. Now we get another stoppage here. Just 1:52 remaining. The defense burns a timeout. To the line we go. They're set, 1st and 10. Here's ETN on the give. Room inside the 10. And he's finally taken down at the 3. Final timeout called by the Texans. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down. They drop to a knee, and what little time we have left here is going to tick down.
There's still some time to bleed off the clock, but the important factor is that the defense is helpless to stop it. You could just run that clock down as far as you're able and take off every single second.
2nd down. Probably going to see him kneel it again here. Bigsby has nothing on that run. They stand strong and stop him at the 2.
Well, you haven't given up the goal line yet, but this offense is moving closer and closer. Now might be the time defensively to get a little more aggressive, try to stick them with the loss, and make a difficult 4th down decision.
Setting up for the kneel down on 3rd. He goes to a knee as time winds down in this one.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
Cam Little now in a high-pressure spot. Angling this one in from the right hash, the challenge here. The kick by Shudak is good. And that'll push it to double digits in a 2-possession game.
That kick right there, Kate, it was a crucial one that really just caused their odds of winning this game to jump substantially. Now we got a 2-score game. It really leaves no room for error for this opposing offense as they prepare to take the field.
All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. He's going to return it from a yard or 2 deep. And he's brought down, Brock, and that brings this ball game to a close. So the Jaguars come away with the win in this one. And Brock, we all know any win is a good win, but playing against a division rival, oh, it always feels so much better dealing them one in the L column.
These are the teams that know you best, Kate, but also the ones that you know best. So, yes, it is just a little bit sweeter when you take care of business in your own division.
So for my partner, Brock Heward, and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Jaguars as we bid farewell from Jacksonville.